All right, let's talk about one of the biggest changes hitting businesses in the UAE in a long, long time, the mandatory switch to e-invoicing. This is a really fundamental shift, and over the next few minutes, we're going to give you a clear roadmap to get ready. Okay, first things first, circle this date on your calendar, July 2026. This is the big deadline. It's when the new e-invoicing system becomes mandatory for all VAT-registered businesses for any B2B and B2G transactions. And just to be super clear, this isn't some minor update. It's a complete overhaul of how things are done. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Is your business actually ready for this? Because getting compliant is about a whole lot more than just sending a PDF instead of a paper invoice. It means new tech, new processes, and honestly, a totally new way of thinking about your transactions.
So, to help you navigate all this, we've broken this down into 5 simple sections. We'll start with what this mandate actually is, then dig into why the UAE is even doing it. After that, we'll look at the technology behind it, give you a solid action plan, and wrap up with the timeline.
Okay, let's jump right into it. Section 1, the e-invoice mandate arrives. What does this really mean for your day-to-day business? First, let's get one thing crystal clear. When the government talks about an e-invoice, they are not talking about a PDF or a picture of an invoice that you email. Not at all. An e-invoice under this new law is a file created in a structured, machine-readable format, specifically an XML file. The entire point is to let computers process it automatically from start to finish with no human intervention. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's like night and day. The old way, paper, PDFs, typing things in by hand, sending it over email, a process that was just begging for mistakes and fraud. The new way? It's all structured data, automated processing, sent over a super secure network. Every single transaction becomes instantly verifiable and auditable. We're moving from a system of documents to a system of data. So you might be asking, why the huge change? Why now? What's the real motivation here? Let's get into Section 2 and see how this all fits into the UAE's bigger vision for its economy. Well, there are a bunch of reasons, and they're all pretty strategic. For the tax authorities, it's a game changer. It gives them incredible transparency and helps slash tax evasion and fraud. For businesses like yours, it forces a move towards automation and efficiency, which is a good thing in the long run. And for the country as a whole, it brings the UAE in line with global digital standards you see in Europe and Asia. Plus, it provides real-time economic data to help make better policy decisions. It's a massive national upgrade. Okay, now for the techie part. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of the mandate. This section is going to break down the framework that makes all of this possible. So, Section 3, the new invoicing blueprint. The entire UAE system is built on something called PEPL. Now, the easiest way to think of PEPL is like a secure international phone book for businesses. It's not a piece of software you buy. It's the set of rules and standards that lets everyone's different accounting systems talk to each other securely and seamlessly. By adopting PEPL, the UAE is basically plugging its entire economy into a proven global network. And this is how your invoice travels on that network. It's called the 5-corner model, and it's actually simpler than it sounds. You, the supplier, are at corner 1. You create the invoice in your system. Your Accredited Service Provider, or ASP, is at corner 2. They check it and send it into the PEPL network. The buyer's ASP, at corner 3, grabs it from the network and delivers it to the buyer at corner 4. And here's the kicker. The Federal Tax Authority at corner 5 gets a real-time copy of all the key invoice data. So what's really important to understand is that you're not just submitting invoices to some government website. Instead, the goal is to create this huge interconnected network where every single transaction is standardized, secure, and immediately visible to the tax authority. That's the big picture here. Now, I've mentioned these Accredited Service Providers, or ASPs, a couple of times. Think of them as the official, certified gatekeepers of this whole new system. And believe me, becoming an ASP is no joke. A company has to meet super strict criteria. They have to be registered in the UAE, certified by PEPL, and hold advanced ISO certifications for security and business continuity. They have to be on the Ministry of Finance's official list. They're even required to offer some free invoices to help out small and medium-sized businesses. So we've gone over the what, the why, and the how. Now let's pivot to the most important part, what you and your business need to do right now. Section 4, your compliance action plan. This is basically your to-do list. First, look at your current accounting or ERP system. Can it even create the right kind of XML file? Second, You need to understand all the new data fields required by the UAE's specific standard, called PINT-AE. Third, you gotta pick an official ASP from the government's list. Fourth, start planning the technical side of things with your IT team and your chosen ASP. And finally, double-check your archiving policies. You have to be able to store these new e-invoices for a long time. And that brings us to our final section. Let's lay this all out on a timeline, because when you see the dates, you'll understand why it's so critical to start now. Section 5, the road to 2026. As you can see, things are already well underway. Public consultations are scheduled for early 2025. Then, later in the year, a pilot phase will kick off for early adopters to start testing the system. All of that leads up to the mandatory go-live date in July 2026. So the window to get prepared is already open, and the testing starts way before that final deadline. So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Getting compliant is not just about switching from a PDF to an XML file. It's about a complete ecosystem. It's about making sure your systems are ready, connecting to secure networks, and working with officially approved providers. It's the whole package. Look, this is a huge leap into the future of digital business for the UAE. The path is laid out, the timeline is set. So the only real question left is your business going to start building its bridge to that future right now, or are you going to wait and have to scramble at the deadline?